If it's Wednesday and it's noon Eastern time and checking the clock, it indeed is. It's the High Noon Hemp Show live on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page on Facebook, of course. If you're on YouTube or you have YouTube or you want to find us on YouTube, search Jedi Hemp on there. We're also now, of course, the big news, an audio podcast. Search the High Noon Hemp Show on Podbean and Google Play Music, and hopefully more platforms coming soon. I've also begun putting all the pertinent links to all of the things you need to know in the description of the Facebook video and the description of the YouTube video, so you can find all that stuff quite conveniently now. Without further ado, because that was a lot of ado to begin with.
I feel very adued.
Joe Clare. That, of course, is Beach. He's high above Hemptations in Sharonville at the Hemp Quarters. Beach, how are things in Sharonville, the world of Hemptations, and beyond?
Things are good. High above the old Sharonville location in the Hemp Quarters, as you say. And welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of the High Noon Hemp Show.
Well into season 5.
It's well into season 5. I can't believe it. But I believe this is now 52 episodes.
Indeed.
If I am correct, which means now you can go back and we have a year's worth of weekly episodes on everywhere.
They said
YouTube,
it never happened.
just like Joe said. They said when we started, no one.
They said we'd be canceled in the first 6 episodes, but here we are.
Here we are,
in season 5.
And so, yeah, aren't we? We're going strong, despite the naysayers and all those people out there, which really, thankfully, don't exist.
Reach for the stars, kids.
We're looking forward, and we're looking forward to you every week at high noon for the High Noon Hemp Show. Don't think that this isn't a big deal. I got to get this right every week. I hope I do. I hope I do. We are now, as my partner in crime over there, pushing the buttons, making this thing go down smoothly. Joe Clare, a.k.a. Stoner Jesus, said we are now officially a podcast. And so you can check that out at Podbean. We are the High Noon Hemp Show at podbean.com. And soon to be Google Play, I believe, as well. And then hopefully soon to be at some other frequently used podcast hosters.
Yes, if they get on the ball.
Really what they do there. If they come on. So anyway, a little reminder, this Saturday is the Ohio Hemp Summit in Circleville. I will be there. I think the doors open at 10 o'clock, and this is at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds, I'm pretty sure, in Circleville. That information is, of course, online. If you just Google Ohio Hemp Summit or go to Eventbrite, I think you can buy tickets there as well. And so I'm going to set up the little hemp educational booth, so to speak, and also do my speak with a little presentation on basically everything you can do with hemp. But I'm kind of tweaking it to talk more about post crop, so to speak. So manufacturing, whether you're if you're manufacturing for this, what do you got to do? If you're manufacturing for this, what do you got to do? Because that's a hot subject right now, because Ohio, we're going to move forward next year with growing. The rest of the country has pretty much gone forward. As we see harvest is coming. I just predicted that in a month or two, CBD prices should probably come down quite a bit, because I think we're going to see a huge amount of material coming forward after this year's crops. And so, we can only hope. And of course, I think a lot more grain as well. And a little bit of that fiber product is still going to be available. And so I think we're going to see more locally grown food products out there, because a lot of people are still growing for the grain. Which is good for the oil. It's where we get the oil from, and therefore, all the cosmetics, all the food products, all that stuff. If you want to do fuel, then you have to grow the grain, because that's where the fuel comes from, which is highly combustible. That's why it makes a good fuel source in the right engine, because it is highly combustible. And so anyway, Ohio Hemp Summit Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. And come on out and join us. It's pretty much all day, I believe. Your ticket gets you lunch, if I remember correctly. So anyway, go to the website and check that out and join us for that. I think I mentioned this a couple shows back, but I don't think I had actually bought on, so to speak. But I am now sponsoring a car in what is called the L4, and I hope I got that right. The L4 is a car itself, and it is a very small little tiny car. Got a maximum speed of about 55 miles an hour. But what to qualify to get in this race, and the race runs from France to North Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a week-long thing, and you have to be a student. And that's the big thing. And B, you have to drive this particular vehicle. Everyone in the race is a college student, so to speak, in France, or from wherever. I don't know if you have to be from France to get in it. There are over 2,000 participants. And so I'm not sure that sponsoring the vehicle is going to get noticed that much. But anyway, this is my niece who is in this with a friend of hers, and they're doing this. It's really phenomenal, actually. They're doing it. And so, both sides of the car say Hemptations as they travel from France down into Africa. And so I think it looks really, really fun. You can go online and they, there's pictures of previous, but I think it looks really, really fun. I think that they will probably learn some things, to doing this little thingamajigger. Again, the cars only go maximum speed. They're these tiny little cars. They have tiny little engines. And I think that's why, they have to use this particular car, because they know they can't be souped up or anything like that. And they have to be used, I believe, because they don't make them anymore. They haven't made them for like 30 years. But the rumor is
race.
Yes, right. But the rumor is that they made so many of these cars until they stopped making them, that there's just so many of them still out there running around, doing their low speed thing, getting people from here to there, and you find them used. And so, the whole idea is kind of fun. And so I bought in. Again, that is my niece. She is to her account. She is my Earth Day niece, and so she was born on Earth Day, April 22nd. And so
welcome to all our soon-to-be visitors and viewers from Europe and
That's
North
right.
Africa. And
that's right.
Welcome to the
Hopefully
show.
they check in from over there on the website at least, and they'll be like, hey, they'll be tuning in soon enough. You never know.
That's
you
right.
never know. They get YouTube over there, I'm sure of it. They have
Absolutely.
to have YouTube.
They have cat videos and such.
Might be censored in some of those countries, because French censorship laws are actually not the best for freedom. And it's not so much, which again, I know a lot of it's actually drug related. Like, you can't put a hemp leaf, a cannabis leaf on anything and wear it in public. That is the way their drug laws go. And they're a huge producer of industrial hemp, but they still wouldn't, you still can't take the time to even try to differentiate the two. It's kind of interesting. And so anyway, it should be fun. Hopefully it'll give them a little bit of attention, somehow, some way, amongst all that goes on in this race somehow. But yes, we'll have Hemptations. We'll be sponsoring a car in the L4. So fun times to be Hemptations, I suppose.
International.
And I'm looking,
Hemptations.
yeah, and I'm looking very forward to the race, because of course these are college students, and so every minute is going to be documented on Instagram, or they don't do Facebook, and so ironically, we probably won't see a whole lot of stuff on Facebook, but I am sure that there's going to be their means, and they'll be doing videos and whatnot to keep us up to date on their progress. And so that should be fun. We will follow them, and I will keep everyone updated when that happens. It's not for a while. I believe I should probably get the date and find out when that is. But anyway,
if we can get a clip of the car or whatever, or them doing something, we can put it on the show. That'd be awesome. If we can, I'm sure it'll be on Snapchat.
We'll get a shout out.
Whatever those kids are using.
I will. That's right. I'm gonna make my niece give us a shout out in one of her videos, and then we'll try to make that work. Yeah, I know she's on Facebook, so at least one thing I'll make her do on Facebook is a live video.
Us old folks need to see the video too.
A shout out to her sponsors. So anyway, that's the exciting stuff going on in the old Hemptations world. Now moving on to the product spotlight. That's right, 4 from the store, 1 from my door, as we like to say. So the first 4 products we do on a product spotlight, you can go and purchase at any one of these stores. If they're not there at any one of the locations, they may also be online, because we are now selling some products at planeteverywhere.com. So you can go there, and I'm slowly building that inventory. I'm reminding myself, this is probably the 4th time that I've tried to do retail, and not try to do, because this time it's successful, because we just got an order today. Of course, we didn't have CBD stuff on there before. But it's harder than it looks, because I have to grab all the products, and I got to take pictures, and I got to upload, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it's keeping me busy again, doing something. And I'm going to build that inventory at planeteverywhere.com. So then you hear on or see on the show, hopefully during the product spotlight, you will also be able to go and order, and have shipped to your door, for just a little more. Amazing. We're finally there. It was really a credit card issue.
Yeah.
But, we've overcome that. And so the first couple of products are actually new. Because of SB 57, our local beverage distributor, has picked up a couple more seltzer waters. And so the first one, not seltzer or CBD drinks, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. The first one is a sparkling lemonade. And it's very good. And what I like about this one is there's a substantial amount of CBD in there. So you get 20 milligrams. And it's really not that much more than some of the other drinks that we may have that may have a little less. And so I think again, we're seeing the price ratios starting to come down. And I think this year we're really going to see it after harvest this year, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's why some of the stuff, and I'm really trying to pick up stuff now that's at what it should be price point, as opposed to the kind of standard price point that everything was for years and years. And so obviously we're trying to bring the prices down everywhere we can. But these are very good. They don't have too much of a flavor. It's not, it doesn't taste fake or anything. And it's 20 milligrams of CBD. And so the next one is a Siesta Blood Orange. And I haven't tried this one yet. But again, it's a higher milligram for some of the drinks, and at a pretty good price point, same price point as the lemonade coming in. And so says it crafted in New York with high bioavailability, which is kind of weird, because again, I was just discussing the word bioavailability with one of the employees and what it meant. And the fact of the matter is if we ingest it and we can take it into our system and use it for something, then it would be bioavailable. I'm not sure what people are really, it's kind of one of those words, like it might as well just be saying like the best or something, because what does that really mean? I don't know. And so I'm really have to look into this, but it's being used a lot, bioavailability. And in everything I know about words, to me, that would really just mean that it's biologically available. And so what does that really mean? Isn't all foods or drinks should be bioavailable? Or what would be the purpose? Corn isn't, but is what it is. Anyway, and so I haven't tried it yet, but I will give one of those a try soon as well, new in the stores, both those drinks. The next one, my favorite paper maker in the world. This is a Nature Flexions card. This particular one has kind of a fall picture to it. And so if you're one of those people that still likes to send cards or give someone a card for a special occasion, we have a full line of Nature Flexions cards in the stores with different pictures that she uses and puts on the cards. And she's a paper maker as well. This is the 25% hemp, 75% post-consumer, but really nice cards if you're still into the card thing. And of course, much better than a paper card made from trees, because that is biodegradable. It didn't take a bunch of chemicals and crap to make it, and all that stuff, obviously, because it's hemp and we're using post-consumer waste, which is great. The last product from the store is our Hemptations Lip Balm. Obviously, if we, it's been really dry around here, so I think lip balm should probably be in demand. It just seems like with the dryness in the air, it feels like winter, or obviously July. Even July, though, seems to be humid. This seems more like winter dryness, even though it's hot. And so Pear's one of the newer flavors that we have gotten in the Hemptations brand lip balm. This is the all natural version. So there you have it. 4 from the store. And now 1 from my door, talking about 25% hemp, 75% post-consumer waste. This is the paper. And the reason that it just hit me to talk about my use in the paper is I had to open up a new box because I go through a lot of hemp paper. And so this is something that I use, on a daily basis. Here's printed script for the show. Everything we do, our applications, everything that when I print, I've been using hemp paper for as long as it's been available to me to buy by the box, which is I usually buy about 4 of these boxes at a time, between 3,000 and 5,000 sheets, which just seems like, man, that's a lot of paper. Maybe it's 1,000 at a time, because I try not to. I don't print. Just because I can use hemp paper, I try not to print. It's not like I waste this just because it's better for the planet. I don't, but I do print a lot of stuff. It does happen. And so anyway, the one from my door, specifically my office, is the hemp paper again that I use all day long. For whatever purposes that I need paper for. And so there you have it, folks. The product spotlight: 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Again, everything's available at the store. The first 4, that paper should be available in the stores. If it's not, then tell your friendly employee to remind me to get the paper in the stores for you to use in your daily life instead of crappy wood tree paper. What a ridiculous idea. What a just ridiculous idea to cut down trees to make paper. Ay.
Absolutely.
What has the world
Amanda
become?
checking in the comment section
Woohoo!
on Facebook.
Hey, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda. Of course, longtime listeners of the show and viewers of the show know that after
Yeah.
we're done with the product spotlight, it leads to really what keeps this show afloat. The reason we're renewed season after season is really, I'd say, at
true.
least 80% this segment. It's where all of the nude / naked / lost people in the world who cannot dress, they're waiting for guidance. They come here for guidance. Hemp clothing guidance. The beachwear segment, where we ask the most important question of the day: what are you wearing beach?
That's right. If you just woke up on the West Coast or you've been up for a while and you're still curious, what are you wearing, beach? Here's today's outfit.
Bam.
For no particular reason, we have one of my favorite hats. I haven't worn this in a while, actually. I'm actually on a hat streak. I have not worn the same hat for 42 days now.
Wow.
That's how many hats I have. Oh, and I could go another 42. I guarantee it. But this is one of my favorite hats that I wear probably more than most. Is this? It's a fair hemp hat with the kind of the Ford logo, but it says hemp. And then the my Young Maven 2016 Hemp History Week tee, which is, I think, which would grow our future. And so this would have been 2 years after we started growing. And so grow our future indeed. I got Hemptopia briefs with my Satori no-show socks there, my shorts. And I just saw and was talking about Ecolution, this company, and these were some of my favorite shorts forever. And now I kind of don't wear them as much because I don't want to wear them out because I can't replace them. But these Ecolution shorts, kind of cargo shorts, I love them. They're just the right weight, very comfortable, fit me great. I've got my Green Spring Technology pen in there, as you can see, with me everywhere I go. And on the bottom of the feet, I got the old Saucony, the vegan Sauconys. And so there you have it. If you're just waking up or you've been up for a while and you're wondering, what are you wearing, beach? Now you know.
Now you can get dressed.
Now you can get dressed. Go find yourself some hemp clothes and get dressed, because that's the proper. That's right. That's right. I got some cool this first shot, actually, as far as the news and events go, this is something awesome. This picture is Laura Noble from Cousin Mary Jane, which are products that we carry, her food products we carried for a very long time, standing with the governor of Michigan. So this is Governor Whitmer, governor of Michigan, who said, and I quote, "I eat hemp every day." Governor of Michigan. And so I think that's pretty awesome. It's a testament to hemp and hemp food. And kids, if you're going to grow up and you want to be governor someday, start eating your hemp.
That's right. Be more like the governor of Michigan and less like the governor of South Dakota.
That's right, for sure. Someone needs to send her some hemp seed, but she would probably dump them in the trash and be like, "Oh my God, get this poison out of here!"
Yes, contraband.
But
someone sent me contraband in the mail.
I think that is true. That someone should definitely, and maybe I do need to, in fact, get this picture to the governor of South Dakota. So aren't you guys close? Anyway, this is awesome, and of course, I love. You can see that. Laura's husband, Joe, was kind of photo bombing. It is perfect. You can see him up there kind of in between them. It's a perfect photo bomb as well. But, if you were wondering, the governor of Michigan eats hemp seeds every day from the governor of Michigan. And so that's really cool. And again, we carry Cousin Mary Jane's products. In fact, I think I featured her bar mix last week. And so that is awesome to see. More good news coming out of Indiana. Federal judge says ban on CBD flour is in fact unconstitutional. Unconstitutional, folks. And the reason is And this is what we saw in Florida over THC. This is what we are seeing in other states. The reason is because you can't say something's legal and then say it's illegal. There's no, I mean, you can't say that. You can't say industrial hemp is legal and then say industrial hemp flour is illegal. It's just, that is unconstitutional. You can't say that about anything. Again, that would be like saying, in Florida, oranges are illegal or are legal, but you can't grow oranges because whatever. Again, you just can't do that. And that's what the judge is saying. That's basically what the judge said, federal judge, over the case in Indiana, because that's what Indiana passed a law, I guess, that said you could have CBD in every form except for the flour. But apparently the federal judge says you can't do that. You're growing in Indiana, so they are growing in Indiana. And CBD is legal for in every other form, and that's they had to pass some laws to do that because there was a controversy in Indiana about CBD products, and then they came along and they said no flour, which is what North Carolina is trying to do. And I do believe that I saw a couple other states have done, and I forget what those states are now, but there were I think 2 other states that actually have made flour illegal, which this Indiana case will definitely set a precedent for future cases where states have come along and done this just ludicrous. You can still go buy cigarettes in Indiana, I guarantee it. But if you want to smoke hemp flour to get your CBD relief, they tried to say no. And apparently they did they have in a couple other states and are trying in North Carolina. Hopefully this court case, hopefully the politicians in North Carolina are paying attention to this and saying, oh, wait a minute, we're going to pass this law and all of a sudden we're going to get sued and look like dummies. And so hopefully that will kind of slow things down in North Carolina with what they were trying to do. And hopefully we'll see in these 2 other states that somehow have banned hemp flour will get overturned quickly as well. And so we'll see. Here's some very interesting news because, I have often said you cannot patent plants, but obviously that is not true because Charlotte's Web has got the first plant patent on cultivar CW2A. Now, a plant patent is kind of different than a regular patent, I guess. And I don't know what this really, other than the fact that what this plant patent really means is no competitors, which means anyone that was going to grow cannabis for CBD can use any clones or seeds, if they were available, I suppose, from CW2A. And so that means if anybody somehow ends up with clones of this CW2A, which, giving them full credit, they did develop. They took a kind of high-ish CBD, kind of low THC, and bred the THC out of most of the THC, got it below that 0.3% threshold to make it an over-the-counter product that it is now. And so, I guess I can agree with this. It is there. They did, for the most part, develop it. I think what this now we're going to see interesting. And of course, we can't do this with the THC stuff, but obviously, now if you can prove that you have in fact developed this particular cultivar of industrial hemp, no matter what it is, then obviously you will be able to get a plant patent
A platinum.
on it. A platinum. Call it a platinum. It's upgrading to the platinum. Um, and that will, in fact, protect you from others using clones of your cultivar as in a similar product that you are growing it for, whatever it would be. I would assume, if you can develop your own fiber plant and get a plant patent on it, then no one else would be able to grow that and make clothing out of it. Only you would be able to do that. So, I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. That's got to exist. Obviously, that's what protects all the GMO stuff. Is obviously these plant patents, and so anyway, there it is. The actual, as far as I know, first industrial hemp plant patent has been filed and accepted for Charlotte's Web CW2A cultivar. And so there you have it, folks. That's kind of interesting. And it's, we're going to, obviously now that that's happened, we are going to start seeing more and more of that. I can definitely see it with people claiming that, some cultivar of CBD that they're growing was theirs, but I don't know. I think it might be kind of harder than that to actually prove development of the actual characteristics of the plant specifically. So we'll see how that's going to work out in the future. But it has started. Dr. Whale, famous doctor, nutrition, just recently released an article on calorie intake, and basically it said that you should be getting 30% of your daily calories from fat. Here is a pic of the 6 things that he recommends to get that 30% where it is, which is extra virgin olive oil, avocados, nuts and nut butter, hemp seeds, flax seeds, fatty fish like salmon. And so again, there is hemp seeds, once again proving that nutritionally, and it does have I think it does have a decent amount of fat in it as well, because, and then of course, don't forget it's high in protein, high omega-6, omega-3s, and other vitamins, minerals, and things like that. Now, on that list of, so basically what he's saying is if you have a 2,000 a day calorie diet, which is probably the average, male, I think the average female is a little under that, 1,700, somewhere around in there. If you have that, 30% of that, so you're at that 2,600 of those calories should come from fat. These are the healthy fats to get that fat. We all, fat free is not, that's a ridiculous idea. Anything free, in my opinion, is kind of a ridiculous idea, except for maybe arsenic and some other things like that. But our body needs a little bit of everything. That's why you eat a well-rounded diet. Fruits, vegetables, little, my opinion, I know the vegans will, kick me in, where the sun don't shine for saying this, but a little bit of meat, not a lot. I eat very little red meat. So I'm not suggesting eating a whole lot of red meat. Chicken, we do a fair amount of chicken, fish, a little bit of fish. But the only problem with the vegan diet, in my opinion, is if it's soy heavy, because soy is, it's not very a real digestible food. And so, hemp provides that protein that you need. And so that's why hemp is such a great vegan food, and so I like to think I was a vegan, but I still eat a little meat now and then. So anyway, I do support the idea of that. And again, they say the Mediterranean diet's one of the healthiest. It's definitely a heart healthy diet. I think it's a cholesterol healthy diet and some other things. And so, if you want to pattern a diet, and I've always said, I don't recommend any particular one diet. It's just about having a good diet. It's about choosing what you eat every time, logically, to the fact that you're a human body that shouldn't have corn pumped into it all day long because it's in all these foods and all this other stuff. And so that's we have evolved from eating a lot of things, and I think a little bit of everything once again gives us all the nutrients that we need to be healthy. And obviously hemp is great for that when it comes to fat. So there you have it, folks. And we're going to run through some events here real quick. October 4th and 5th, you have the Pennsylvania Cannabis Festival in Pennsylvania. And just a reminder, you can go to Hemptations.com, and I on the second page, I put all the events that I talk about here in this segment of the show, so that you can go back and be reminded. And if there's a link or some way to get there, or a website or something, then I'll try to provide that. Again, that's at Hemptations.com. 24 hours a day available to you. And I do try to update that once a week or so. Also October 4th. October 4th is a busy day. Kentucky Hemp Harvest Fest dinner in Winchester. So the Kentucky Hemp Harvest is actually October 5th, but they're doing a hemp harvest dinner on the 4th in Winchester. And then you also have the Jack Hare Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament going on out on the West Coast October 4th. And so if you want to get involved with that, you're getting close to their deadlines. I think you got to be in there. So anyway, October 5th, this is kind of interesting if you're in New York City. This is the CBD and industrial hemp talk, but it's at the New York Law School. It's 10:30 a.m. And I know New York right now they're going through some weird stuff. They do have some weird laws too when it comes to hemp, and what the state's trying to do with certain hemp stuff and saying the same thing. It's like they're saying it's legal, but then they're saying you can't do this with it and this. And so, that might be interesting if you're really thinking about getting into hemp, CBD or hemp in New York. That might be an interesting place to go and get some answers, or just I would be curious. October 17th, you've got the Henry Clay Hemp Social. That's in Ashland Park, in the middle of Lexington, Kentucky, where they have cut down the little hemp plot. I was just there recently, and it is now cut down and drying. And the little fenced in, they built a fence out of wood. It's not very tall or anything. It's kind of laying over it and drying. And so I'm curious if they'll shake those seeds and use them in some type of in food for the Henry Clay Hemp Social, October 17th. And then October 18th in Longmont, Colorado, you have the Hemp Harvest Party. This has been going on for a couple of years now, I believe. So if you're out in the Colorado area, Longmont's kind of like right in the middle of kind of everything. Colorado is an interesting state because it's like you get into it and it's like really flat in agriculture, a lot of cows and whatnot. And then you get to the base of the mountains and it's like just like kind of one big long city broken up, that run at the base of the mountains. And then you get in the mountains and there's nothing but mountains. So anyway, Longmont's kind of in there. I think it's pretty close to Denver, but again, everything is kind of close. It's not too far going up and down. I suppose from top to bottom it would be, but anyway. October 19th in Eau Claire, Michigan, you have the Eau Claire First Annual Hemp and Harvest Festival. And so, that's kind of interesting to see. Michigan, I think, is kind of new to the hemp stuff. Maybe this year might be the first year they did hemp, or the second year. I'm not sure. Obviously, and so I don't know where Eau Claire is, but Michigan is a big state too. So good luck with that. But that should be interesting. October 24th and 25th, you've got a hemp building project going on in Ketchum, Idaho. I have been to Ketchum, Idaho, and it is beautiful at the very least. Got a lot of mountains surrounding Ketchum. And so if you're interested in participating in a hemp building, you got about a month to prepare yourself, October 24th and 25th. And then the first weekend of November is HCon, Hemp Industries Association Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's the 1st through the 4th. And so I've still never made it to one of those. But that's not too far away, so maybe I'll contemplate going down for the old HIA conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. Who knows? November 1st through the 4th. It's pretty much it there. Taking us up to November 3rd through the 5th. You'll also have the Florida Industrial Hemp Conference in Orlando. And so, again, you can go to Hemptations.com, the second page of Hemptations.com, and the About page, I believe it's called, and check on all of these events. I usually have them posted within a day or two of the show here at the High Noon Hemp Show, which you're turning to live on the Facebook Beach page, which, of course, you can also go to YouTube and join the Jedi Hemp channel, watch any back episodes, and also check out the podcast when you want to check out the podcast. When you are visually impaired, and I hate to say that like that because I'm not trying to mock any people see, because I trust you, I've worn glasses all my life, and not having good vision or not having vision to me is terrible. When I say that, obviously some people can only listen to things at certain times, or only want to listen to things, and I think for other than a couple pictures you may miss, I suppose this makes for any good a podcast as any. And if you're looking for information on hemp or CBD and all that good stuff, we're pretty knowledgeable here at the High Noon Hemp Show, I like to believe.
Right. Send in your questions. Hemptations@yahoo.com.
That's it. Feel free. Officially, right now is the Ask Beach Anything part of the show, and we have not. I kind of end the show a lot of times without even bringing that up, whether we have a question or not, which we normally don't. And for a while there, I was trying to make up questions. But if you do have questions or would like me to answer your question on the High Noon Hemp Show, you can email me at Hemptations@Yahoo. You can go to the website, Hemptations.com, and there's a page for contacting. You can just go there and write your question in. That'll get to me. And so there are multiple ways to do that. I realize, you might have to wait a week to answers, and maybe, there's probably better ways to find the answers than waiting a week for me to tell you, but I appreciate the questions. I appreciate all questions, one way or another. And so, maybe we should just do a better job of posting that more throughout the week.
Yeah, I'll definitely
just to see if we get to
start posting it more on Facebook. Hopefully Facebook will show it to people so they can actually ask questions.
Right.
I love going on the Facebook page and seeing something and it says, 12 people have seen this. Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah,
it's very helpful with the interaction portion of the show.
That's right. 12 people have seen it, but 52 have viewed it. You figure that out. Right. No. As always, folks, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week.